Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Will I suffer? Will I get the big prize? And will I be alone? These are big questions for the biggest psalm in the Bible, Psalm 119. So we're going to ask these three questions. Does a life with God involve suffering? And did God fall off the throne because there's suffering in the world and suffering in the church? Secondly, does a life with God involve the greatest prize possible? Is it worth it? What do I get out of it? And then the third one, is a life with God lonely? Am I unaccompanied in this journey? And is the spiritual life lived alone? So three big questions. Will I suffer? Will I get the big prize? And will I be alone? Big psalm for big questions. I want to remember a couple of thoughts from Psalm 119. Verse 57, the Lord is my portion. So when the people of the promise, this is where this came from, when the people of the promise, Israel, came to the promised land, they were apportioned parts of the land to occupy. This tribe goes over here to live. This tribe goes over here. You get this piece of land. You get this piece of land. 12 tribes, one of them, the Levites, when they get the Levites, said, you don't get any land. You just get the Lord. The Lord is your portion. You get a piece of God himself, kind of. So the Lord is your portion, verse 57. It's a similar sentiment that was proclaimed to Abraham back in Genesis 15, verse 1. After these things, the word of the Lord came to Abram, he wasn't even called Abraham at the time, in a vision. Fear not, Abram, I am your shield. Your reward shall be very great. In other words, I'm your portion. You get me. I am your reward. You get my presence. You get to have a relationship with me. So that's kind of the first thing. The second thing is verse 63, I am a companion of all who fear you, of those who keep your precepts. So Psalm 119 is a psalm about the word of the God. And the question is, am I alone in this? And it's such an honor to pursue the Lord with the people of the Lord. So you're not the only one that he has been working this redemption process. So the Lord came to save you for sure, but he also came to save a community, the body of Christ. So you're not alone in the salvation process, and you're not alone in the sanctification process. So the body of Christ is designed to care for one another, teach one another, discern from one another, disciple one another, worship one another, rebuke one another, whatever it takes. It's a group effort. So while I'm working to do the big theme of 119, follow your word, guess what? Others are working to do the big theme of 119, follow your word. Similarly, when I'm admiring, they're admiring. While I'm being convicted, they're being convicted. While I'm being blessed, they're being blessed. While I'm learning your statutes when I'm afflicted, that is suffering, they are learning your statutes when they are afflicted and suffering. So our passage today mentions this again, verse 75. I know, O Lord, that your rules are righteous, and in faithfulness you have afflicted me. So let's talk about the third concept now, which is suffering. So the Lord is with me in suffering, and the Lord is with them in suffering. In one sense, we're all alone before God, and we stand before the judgment seat alone. But then it's also true that when we look to in the spiritual walk, as we're walking with the Lord, as we look to our right and to our left, we see that God is working in our brothers and sisters around us. And it's such a privilege to walk through the life together with them. All right, let me read a little passage today. This is verse 73 and onwards. Your hands have made and fashioned me. Give me understanding that I may learn your commandments. Those who fear you shall see me and rejoice because I have hoped in your word. I know, O Lord, that your rules are righteousness. And get this, and in your faithfulness, you have afflicted me. So that some of the suffering is seen and guided by the Lord. Verse 76, let your steadfast love comfort me. Let your hesed comfort me. According to your promise to your servant, let your mercy come to me. I love that humble ask, just that I may live, that your law is my delight. Let the insolent be put to shame, because they have wronged me with falsehood. As for me, I will meditate on your precepts. That's what we're doing here this morning. Let those who fear you turn to me, that they may know your testimonies. May my heart be blameless in your statutes, that I may not be put to shame. All right, let me address this last one. Well, what about this suffering? Does a life with God involve suffering? I recommend yesterday's podcast. But the short answer is yes. Does a life with God involve suffering? Yes, of course it does. And did God fall off the throne because there's suffering in the world? No. Did God fall off the throne because there's suffering even in his church, in the people he loves the most? No. Here it is, verse 75. I know, O Lord, that your rules are righteous, and that in faithfulness you have afflicted me. So can there be higher purposes, higher calls to the affliction that the Lord allows, physically, emotionally? And the answer is yes. So that's the first big question. Second big question is, does a life with God involve the greatest prize possible, the Lord himself? The answer is yes. Verse 57, the Lord is my portion. You are my prize. I recognize your faithfulness, reliability, and constancy. And then the third thing, am I unaccompanied in this journey? Is the spiritual life to be lived alone? The answer is no. Verse 63, I'm a companion of all who fear you, of those who keep your precepts. So three big questions. Will I suffer? Will I get the big prize? And will I be alone? Will I suffer? Yes. Will I get the big prize? Yes. And will I be alone? No. Thanks for listening.